not everybody who necessarily reads our magazine is totally familiar with who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess. So how would you describe yourself and your career in just a couple of simple sentences?
I would say it's one of the most unorthodox paths taken, really, like in the history of Hollywood. Because in 2003 I made a movie that was considered the worst movie ever made. That
Right.
at the time had no chance to succeed. I mean, it was made by my very close friend Tommy Wiseau, who wasn't given a part in Hollywood for years, and he decided he was going to finance and make his own movie completely by himself. He financed it. He put a billboard up for 5 years. A lot of things that had never been done before that were looked upon as insane. And then, a few years later down the line, people started seeing it and responding to it, and it was all audience response. There was no like studio behind it. Right. So it was really this movie that was built up by the people. And then by 2010, it became kind of this international phenomenon. So I was like trying to kind of like do my own thing and get away from it, or I don't even know if like it wasn't even a part of my life at that time. Sure. And then it almost kind of gave me another chance, and that's when I decided to write the book. Again, and my goal with the book was to tell a story about something that was considered so bad, but have the book be turned into a great movie that would win awards. So it was like this really bizarre circumstance where Tommy started out trying to make a movie so great that it would launch him, and then it ended up becoming something that was known as so bad. And then I tried to do the same thing and take something that was so bad and turn it into something that was great. And then so here we are in 2017, a movie made about the disaster artist that won a Golden Globe, and got nominated for an Oscar. So it's just been something, really the path that I've had, or really describe my experience in Hollywood, which is going to be 20 years now, is really there's always a positive to be found within a negative. And I think that's what I've learned, is like you don't need to let one circumstance define you. There's always a way to work around it. And I think if you stay true to who you are and what your passion is, and just stay focused on that, I think you can work your way out of a lot of trouble.
It's a great message. When you say the book, you mean The Disaster Artist?
Yeah.
Which was published in 2013, and released as an audiobook that you read.
Yeah, and then that's another thing that's really funny is they wanted to do an audiobook, but they didn't want me to narrate it. They wanted to get a professional narrator, and I remember saying, okay, there's nobody that knows Tommy the way I do. I'm not going to give that up. And it's like, if you guys want to do an audiobook, either I'm going to do it or it's not going to happen.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so
I wanted you to.
I started to get really ambitious, though. I was like, Tommy's going to play himself in the audiobook, and then I'll do my part. And then Tommy's like, that's a good idea. Let's do it. And then the publisher's like, no. So I was like, okay, I'll play Tommy. But it was just...
your portrayal of Tommy is amazing. So
yeah,
the bit that you did just now.
It was something that I knew was very personal, and to me, it was more about connecting with an audience that's listening to the book. I wanted to tell the story, and I'm really happy that I did, because, for example, you or a lot of people around the world have come up to me and said, you kept me company, on a long road trip for 12 hours, and I feel like that's a great way to connect with a reader.
I mean, not only the portrayal of your mom, but also Tommy, who are both some accent-heavy characters to be doing yourself.
Yeah.
Through the audiobook of The Disaster Artist, you really kind of, I feel like a lot of people got to see a side of you as an actor that they...
Yeah, I really enjoyed the voice acting because you don't have to think about camera, what you look like, and you can just really kind of bring these characters to life in a different way. I really enjoyed it.
And your first big Hollywood movie was Patch Adams?
Well, I mean, I was an extra, but I was there. I was in it for 6 seconds. That was really my first real Hollywood experience. I got to hang out on set with Robin Williams and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I thought Philip Seymour Hoffman at the time was an extra as well. So I went up to him, and because I had just done a take, and the director said I did a really good job, so I was feeling excited, and I saw him there, and I was like trying to make conversation with him. I was like, how did you get involved with this? And he just kind of gave me one look, looked away, and walked away. And I was like, guy kind of takes himself seriously to be an extra. And then a few years later, it was like Boogie Nights, Big Lebowski, Magnolia. I was like, oh, okay, that guy wasn't